Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. Thank you for visiting. This is your daily tarot for Friday the 21st of September 2018. It's a very blowy and wet day here. I mean, not particularly wet, not torrential rain or anything, but lots and lots of wind. I think we've got the remnants of an Atlantic storm blowing over the country. I woke up in the night after a slight sore throat developing yesterday afternoon. I woke up in the night with a throat like broken glass. I couldn't believe it. So painful. And I managed to get back to sleep by saying 2 mantras at the same time in my mind. There's a mantra called Medicine Buddha. It's Tibetan Buddhist. It's a long mantra. I'm going to say it now. Tayato Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Radza Samudgate Soha. And when I recite it, it goes Tayatom Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Radza Samudgate Soha. Tayatom Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Radza Samudgate Soha. And what it basically means is, O great healer, make all sickness leave and never come back. And I did many years ago when I first started these practices. I did a 40-day practice of Medicine Buddha, and that involves saying that mantra 108 times, one after the other, for 40 consecutive days. And man, I felt amazing when I came to the last day. I really did. And I found that since then, if I am ill and I actually take the time to sit down quietly and recite that mantra 108 times out loud like that, by the time I've finished, my symptoms have gone. So in the night, I was saying it quietly in my head, and I was also repeating. There's a set of 1-syllable mantras called bija mantras. Bija means seed. And there's a different seed mantra, a different bija mantra for each chakra. And the bija mantra for the throat chakra is hum, hum, just like H-A-M. It's a kind of cross between ham and hum. So it's hum. And I was repeating these 2 mantras in the middle of the night in my bed, and I managed to get back to sleep. But when I woke up again this morning, it was really bad. So I took time out and I sat down properly and did the Medicine Buddha mantra and the Green Tara mantra, because I do that every day anyway. And it made me feel a whole lot better, but I have to say I have not actually stepped out the house today. It's been a duvet day today, and I think what it is one of these weird kind of snap viruses that are around these days. I had a similar thing earlier in the year where I woke up with like my throat on fire, and I approached it in the same way, and I'd seen it off by the end of that day. So anyway, we'll see, but by God, it was like swallowing broken glass. It was so painful. But yeah, Medicine Buddha, check it out. And if if you have the will to sit down and say that 108 times, one after the other, for 40 consecutive days, whew, it will have an effect, that's for sure. Anyway, I will stop wittering from my throat chakra and crack on with this reading. Three card Major Arcana reading. I will then be pulling one from the Swords, one from the Wands, one from the Pentacles, and one from the Cups, and then one from the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild. So I'll shuffle. Last cut. I always look away so I can't see. Okay, card number one, the energy as we come into the reading. How interesting. Justice in the reverse. The previous reading I did, the energy we came in was justice in the upright. I really do get the feeling things are flipping from one side to another. Absolutely amazing. Okay, card number two, the block or drain. The Devil in reverse. Card number three, the Key to Power. The Chariot in the upright. Okay, well it looks like this flip-flop, like go for broke, hold your peace, hold your nose and jump in, don't do anything energy is coming to an end. It looks like that. It looks like it's been a period, a few days of stop, start, like go, don't go, red light, green light, red light, green light. Goodness me, quite tiring. But it looks to me like with the Chariot as the key to power, it's time to jump on board because the wheels are rolling in one direction. Anyway, let's look. Now, look, the previous reading I did, the energy as we were coming in was justice in the upright. And here we have justice in the reverse. What can I say? This flip-flop energy is taking a while to work itself through. I will doubtless come back to this, but I want to talk about this, the Devil in reverse as the block or drain. Because, I mean, the Devil in reverse speaks of letting go or being released from, which is the same thing, really. Sort of inner binds, inner bondage, inner hooks. And we had this very recently. Well, the Devil turned up as the block or drain in the upright. But what I'm getting here is that it's time to stop going over the rights and wrongs of something and referring back to mistakes or, mistakes. I might elaborate on that in a little while, but mistakes of the past. This is in the past. This is in the past. It's time to put this stuff to bed and get on board. Now, we are, at the time of reading, I mean, it's the 20th I'm reading this, we're 2 days away from the equinox. We're coming right to the end of Virgo season. We're at the end of Virgo season. It's time to move forward. It's absolutely time to move forward. Now, we can go on picking over the bones of our own hand in our own fortunes and misfortunes. We can go on picking over the bones of that forever if we wish. And, you're welcome to. But that is not going to create any forward motion in your life. Sometimes you just have to put things down to experience. But that's not a very satisfactory thing for a tarot reader to say, really, is it? I think, I mean, I'm just seeing the similarity here in the shape of these two cards, because we have the Angel of Justice holding the sword holding the sword in her right hand, kind of looking that way, and here we have the Devil holding his pointy trident in his right hand, looking that way. I mean, I know she's looking down and he's looking across, but listen, to me, this is clear. We've got the rights and wrongs, and then we got the sort of the manifestational kind of results of notions of right and wrong here from the past. And here we've got the inner motivations of the self and how those manifested in the right and wrongs of one's life in the past. But picking over the bones of this has a limited shelf life. Sometimes it is simply necessary to just go, right, okay, the past is the past. I was talking to my partner about this earlier. And I mean, it is possible to spend one's life with one's mind engaged in the future, with all its hopes, dreams, worries, fears, anxieties, what ifs of the future, and keep one's mind engaged in the past. All the should have done, could have done, would have done, wish I had, this happened, that happened. And one can spend one's life not in the present, like straddled out between the past and the future, and be having an awful lot going on in one's head, because all these thoughts, and they are simply thoughts about the future and the past, the projections into the future and the reflections of the memories of the past, it all simply happens in the mind. And all of these thoughts bring with them a kind of physiological, emotional quality and emotional response. You know, if you remember something that you did in the past that was really sort of stupid or really dangerous or really bad, it's going to lift, like the adrenals are going to go again. They go again, you know. And so it truly, truly is possible to live in the future and live in the past. But the problem with that is that we completely miss out on the present. And I have come to the conclusion, well, this is as far as my thinking has got on this, that the unnameable malaise, the unnameable melancholy of depression is what grows up to occupy the space between the fantasies we have about life, the fantasy of the future, and the fantasy of the past, because it has gone. And depression is what grows up to occupy the space between the fantasies of life and the reality of life, which is happening right now. And if it is possible to discipline your mind, to disengage, to discipline your mind to grow the capacity to disengage from the future and the past, where we do not live. I mean, our minds can't help going, you know, because we have brains that are big enough to conceive of the future and to remember the past. But neither of them is real. The only real thing is right now. And if it is possible to bring yourself into the present, depression doesn't have a chance to get a hold. Because depression is truly about engagement, sort of disengagement. It's not primarily, I believe, about actual things that make us sad. Sadness and depression are not the same thing. Depression is about not being rooted and engaged with presence in the present. And this reading is speaking to me about letting go. I know it sounds so easy and so cheesy, let go. Okay, I'm going to be more forceful than that. You know, this is the Chariot we have here. Stop this. Put a wall between this. This is ruminating over the past. Put a wall between that and the key to power here, the Chariot. Absolute, into that Chariot box. Whip those horses. They're moving already. Get on it. Get on board. It's going forward. Okay, one from the Swords. Yeah. Get on board. It's going forward. Things are moving. Things are moving. You don't miss the bus, right? And there's rapid, swift, strong, clear communication coming in with this. And I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to see this chariot pulled by a horse that was going at this pace, but the knight on this horse is perfectly comfortable with the pace of movement here. So get on board, man. Things are moving. This flip-flop period is over. Wow. Queen of Wands. Okay, so grab the action. Grab the action. And there's goodness in this action. There is a benign quality to this action. And there's no threat here. You know, whatever it is that you've been flip-flopping between about rights and wrongs and inner weaknesses and vulnerabilities and all the rest of it and how they've manifested in your life, and it is actually safe to let it go. And I don't see any great danger in not letting it go, but it would be a rank waste of time. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. I just want to have a closer look at this card. I've never, well, not never, but I haven't really studied this. Okay, I would say, in conjunction with the Queen of Wands here, I would say this is about getting out. Get out, get amongst it. There is stuff out there for you. There is endless opportunity out there for you. But it's going to be difficult for you to engage with what's out there now if you remain in a ruminative state about the past. That's going to be difficult. But there's, oh man, there's a lot to play for out there. And I mean play, which is fun. Okay, 4 of Cups. Now, yeah, this is the only cautionary note I see here, the 4 of Cups. Because he's sitting there and he's drunk from the 3 cups. And he's clearly not impressed, or he's just kind of bored with the whole thing. And now this 4th cup comes in and he's not even bothering to look. And this is jadedness. And I can understand with this flip-flop energy, I mean, it's pretty tiring anyway. But with this go, stop, past, future, should, shouldn't, all of this ruminative energy here, injustice in the reverse and the devil in the reverse here, it's understandable that we would be feeling somewhat jaded. This is the only cautionary note. We do not know what is in this cup. And, I mean, it might be the same as what is in these 3 cups, but we don't actually know. And we will never know unless we look up and at least have a little sniff at what's in the cup. That's the only cautionary note I'm seeing from this. But there's a lot to engage with out there, and you know, very often with the Chariot here, I can see sort of potential damage from the sort of careening momentum of this incredibly heavy vehicle and the rather sort of proud and potentially even a little bit arrogant stance of the dude in the chariot surveying his newly conquered territory. But I don't see any of that here. This is cheerful. This is good. It's time to get out there. And as I say, the only cautionary note I see here is the 4 of Cups. And it's not even really a cautionary note. It would just be a shame, because that is a cosmic hand. And it would be a shame to eschew the cosmic hand and not even like have a little look at what's in that cup. Okay, here comes Kuan Yin. I see it, I see it, I see it. Ha ha ha! There it is. It amuses me. Put those down there like that. What do we have? Oh, what we had the other day. How lovely. Let your world spin on its axis. There she is again. Now, her face there, can you see? Oh, can I get it into focus? Oh, I'm going to turn her up the right way, so to speak. Now, she has a rather neutral expression on her face there. She's not like laughing gleefully at the cartwheel, but neither is she frightened by the upending, by the world, her world spinning on its axis. So, like I say, I don't see any great danger here from not getting on this chariot. But I just think it would be a shame to not let your world spin on its axis, because in a sense that's what it's doing. That's what it's doing. Whether you sit in your room thinking about the past in a ruminative fashion or not, world is turning. Might as well get out there and have a spin with it. Right, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for bearing with me about my sore throat. And please like, please share, please subscribe, and it would be lovely to see a comment if it would please you to leave one. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye bye.